He kissed a 1,000-year-old alien statue in a joke. It opened its eyes and said, "You doomed your species." The ruins of Sereth Prime stretched across the desert like the ribs of a long-dead god. Shattered towers leaned against each other, their tips crumbling into black sand. Wind howled through the broken gates, carrying with it whispers of a civilization that had perished a millennium ago. Dr. Julian Mercer stood at the base of the largest ruin, a colossal humanoid statue carved from obsidian. 10 meters tall, its face was sharp and alien, its eyes closed as if in eternal meditation. Glyphs spiraled down its pedestal, glowing faintly with silver light even after 1,000 years. Julian adjusted the strap of his scanner pack and smirked. Well, there it is. The legendary Watcher of Sereth. Supposedly, the locals think it's cursed. Any of you feeling cursed yet? His team of 6 chuckled uneasily. Only Dr. Amira Patel, the mission's linguist, looked serious. She tapped at her tablet, eyes scanning the glyphs. "Julian, these inscriptions aren't decorative. They're warnings." Julian rolled his eyes. "Everything in archaeology is a warning, Amira. Don't disturb the tomb, don't read the book, don't take the golden idol. And yet here we are, making history." He climbed the steps of the pedestal, boots crunching on ancient stone. At the top, he found himself eye-level with the statue's immense lips. They were cracked but strangely smooth, as if worn down by countless centuries of ritual. Julian turned, grinning at the others. "All right, team. Who wants to see something that'll make the headlines back home?" "Julian, don't," Amira began. But Julian had already pulled off his respirator, exposing his face to the thin alien air. He leaned forward and pressed his lips against the statue's cold stone mouth. The crew groaned and laughed nervously. Julian threw his arms wide like a showman. "There. I just kissed a 1,000-year-old alien. Beat that." The laughter died in an instant, because the statue's eyes opened. Twin orbs of silver fire flared to life, casting blinding light across the ruins. The ground trembled. The glyphs along the pedestal flared like molten rivers. And then, in a voice that was not a voice, but a vibration that shook bone and thought alike, the statue spoke. "You doomed your species." Chapter 2. The Seal. The crew stumbled back, panic rippling through their ranks. Only Amira stood frozen, her tablet shaking in her hands. What did it say?" stammered Ensign Calder, the youngest of the team. Amira's face was pale. "It said we're doomed." The statue's burning gaze fixed on Julian. He staggered, clutching his head as the voice thundered inside his mind. "The seal is broken. The Watcher awakens. The judgment begins." Then, as suddenly as it had come to life, the statue closed its eyes. The ruins fell silent again. Julian stumbled down the pedestal, his usual arrogance gone. "It was just a joke," he whispered. "I didn't mean—" Amira grabbed his arm, fury in her voice. "You fool." The glyphs were clear. This wasn't a statue. It was a seal, a prison. "And you," she jabbed a finger into his chest, "you woke it up." The comms crackled to life with the voice of their pilot aboard orbiting ship the Endeavour. Ground team, we've got a problem. Multiple unknown contacts just dropped out of FTL. They're surrounding us." Chapter 3. The Arbiters. Back aboard the Endeavour, the crew gathered on the bridge. Through the viewport, the void glittered with dozens of sleek, obsidian ships. They moved with predatory grace, forming a net around the planet. A transmission cut through the silence. A hologram flickered into existence, a towering alien figure, avian in shape, with silver eyes like the statue's. "I am Arbiter Zelon," it said, voice resonating with ancient authority. "The seal of silence has been broken. The humans have violated the covenant. By decree of the ancients, your species is condemned." Julian forced himself to speak. Wait. We didn't know. I was joking. It was an accident. Zelon's silver eyes narrowed. Ignorance does not absolve guilt. For 1,000 years, the seal bound the judgment. Humanity was spared until the appointed age. But now, by your own hand, the covenant is void. Amira stepped forward. Condemned for what? What crime did humanity commit? Zelon's gaze swept across them. You were marked dangerous. Too violent. Too ambitious. Too proud. The seal was mercy, delaying your extinction until you matured. But one of you chose arrogance over humility. And now, your reprieve is ended. The hologram vanished. The alien fleet began to move. Chapter 4. Flight. The Endeavour shook as beams of silver energy lanced past its hull. Shields flared and sputtered. Evasive maneuvers, the captain barked. Get us out of here. The ship dove through the storm of fire, weaving between alien destroyers. But the enemy was faster, older, built for this very hunt. Julian sat frozen in his chair, shame gnawing at him. Every explosion against the hull felt like a hammer striking his chest. He had doomed not just his team, but Earth itself. Amira grabbed his shoulder. Julian, listen. The glyphs mentioned restoration. A chance to rebind the seal. If we can return to the ruins, maybe we can fix this. Julian's eyes widened. You mean me? Yes, Amira hissed. You woke it. Only you can put it back. The ship banked hard, diving back into the planet's atmosphere with enemy craft in pursuit. Flames licked across the hull as the ruins rose up to meet them. Chapter 5. Repentance. They crashed into the sands near the statue, scrambling out as enemy fire rained down from the skies. The Watcher's eyes were open now, burning like twin suns, its voice echoing through the desert. Extinction. Extinction. Amira shoved Julian toward the pedestal. Go. It has to be you. Julian's legs felt like lead as he climbed. The same steps that had felt like a stage for his joke now felt like a gallows. He pressed his forehead to the stone lips. The cold bit into his skin. I was arrogant, he whispered, voice shaking. I mocked what I didn't understand. I thought I was clever, but I was just a fool. If there's any chance, anyway, take me. Spare humanity. For a long, terrible moment, nothing happened. Then the statue's mouth shifted, just slightly, into something like a grim smile. Sacrifice accepted. Light engulfed Julian, searing him from existence. His scream echoed through the ruins, and then silence. The Watcher closed its eyes once more. Above, the alien fleet froze. One by one, their ships dissolved into motes of silver dust, vanishing into the void. Chapter 6. Aftermath. The survivors stared at the empty skies. The danger was gone. But so was Julian. Amira stood at the base of the statue, reading the new glyphs that had appeared, glowing faintly where his sacrifice had been made. They read, The fool who kissed the seal bought you time. 1,000 years remain. Do not squander them. She touched the glyphs softly, her throat tight. He was reckless, arrogant. But in the end, he saved us. The others said nothing. Far above, Earth spun unaware of the danger it had narrowly escaped. Humanity had been given one more millennium. And when that time was up, the judgment would come again. Whether they would be ready, no one could say.